Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, a couple of reminders that I'm not your financial advisor and we never provide investment advice on this channel. So with that being said, I know it's been a couple of days, but with the market being what it was and everything going on with Solana and then BTC as well, just really was not, the right time to go ahead and be looking on chain, doing videos, especially exploring Dexscreener, because a lot of stuff just simply was not doing that well. Now, have there been some outliers, some things that have gone ahead and taken off? Sure, but those are the exceptions. A lot of stuff outside of that just really were tanking and not doing well, or were there for very short periods of time, and then they just go ahead and they fall off the map in terms of the market cap. So with that being said, things do look like they are starting to improve. Not saying that we're definitely where we were prior to the Solana dump, but things are looking a little better. So I figured that we might go ahead and take a look, around Dexscreener and see what's going on. See if we can spot maybe some diamonds in the rough, but we'll see about that. With that being said, if you're somebody new, thanks so much for joining us. We're glad to have you. And if you're somebody that's been with us from the very beginning or joined somewhere along the way, again, we certainly appreciate the support of the channel, your support of the channel and of the series. So I'm going to go ahead and get into a little bit of review, and then we'll move into discovery as always. So with that being said, we took a look, here at Pipe coin that we can see here at the alerts. We caught this one 5 days ago, saw it at 70K. Really wasn't sure if this was going to go ahead and do anything, but we decided to go ahead and set some alerts anyway. And we can see that, 5 days ago, that would have put us at the 23rd, so we're talking like, right here, launch day, right, for this one. And it jumped to roughly around, just shy of 600K, at the peak. So really good gains, for this one. Again, just another example, of what we're doing here in the series, finding stuff that may have the potential to go ahead and move on the market cap, so whether it's anything, as far as a 2x, to a 10x and beyond. This one obviously did do fairly well, considering when you look at the alert. Both of these did trigger, one when it went under 55 and one when it went over 85. So we're talking about this triggering on the low end, under 55. I'm not sure what the absolute low on this one was, but either way, anywhere from 50K, all the way to around 600K. If you have the conviction to go ahead and hold on to this one, that is some really, really good movement, as far as this token is concerned. So wanted to point that one out to you. And then here with Anti, looking at the alert, we caught this one at 173K, and this was 9 days ago, or 8 days ago. So either way, 8 or 9 days ago. But the point is, saw this one pretty early. So we got 173K, which would put us somewhere around in this area, so, and then you can see that it touched just over 1 million, at the peak, since the time, of the call. So again, another one, and I know we talked about this one since we made the initial find, because they'd grown on the market cap, but you can see that this one hit a peak, here, and then retraced really heavy, really hard, and then started to make some move again, and then peaked up here, retraced really, really hard, and now it looks like it's trying to make possibly another run. So with that being said, in spite of the market conditions, there are still tokens that are still moving. There are still tokens that are staying resilient regardless of what the market is doing. And I've seen some of those, but like I said, those are definitely the exceptions. You really got to have good community, as far as those type of tokens are concerned. And you've got to have, holders that are willing to go ahead and hold through the turbulence, so, but, different tokens, the sentiment, depending on the token that you're talking about, can just be a very bullish, type of sentiment that regardless of what the market's doing, and, could be destroying, other tokens. There are tokens that can certainly weather the storm, and this seems to be, one of those tokens. In spite of the heavy retracement, both at their peaks, clearly there is, some pretty good feelings, about this particular token, as evidenced, here looking at their chart. So wanted to point that one out to you, that, to go from 173 all the way to just over 1 million, on the market cap, this is one that definitely made some pretty good gains. And another a good example, of what we're talking about, and what we've been doing, in over 60 days, in this series, finding tokens, look like they may have some potential depending on what we're seeing, between the chart, and what's going on in the channel and the marketing efforts as well. And even community engagement, you certainly can never go ahead and leave that out, so glad to see that's taking place, here in this particular token. Now, this one we hadn't talked about, you can see, the reason why I brought this one up is because there's a lot of talk in regards to Kanye dropping a coin. And so this is obviously a fake one that launched, so if you don't have a Twitter monitor, definitely should, look to get one of those. I personally use, TweetDeck. I find it to be pretty useful as far as monitoring what's going on across Twitter or X, whatever name you want to use. But this one, like I said, this one's definitely the fake one. Anytime you see a chart like this, I always say run, run, run. I don't care, if it hasn't dumped yet. At the end of the day, this one looks like it is absolutely primed for a rug pull. So no chart, no healthy chart continues to follow this kind of pattern. No healthy chart looks like this. So, and definitely when you look at the chart, you can see that there are buys and sells, but this is, and I haven't really, decided to investigate it any further beyond just really looking at the chart and then deciding that I wanted to bring it up, here in the series on this channel, and bring it up to you guys that you see charts like this, especially if you're somebody that's newer, to the crypto landscape. This is not a chart you want to mess with. Okay, not unless you want to lose your money. So definitely, if you see something like this, and this is the kind of stuff you want to run away from. Okay, now, given the fact that I spotted this one, I think at 3 billion, I think it was just under 3 billion, and it has continued to rise. And like I said, you can still see buys and sells on their buy transaction area, on the chart. At the end of the day, this does highlight the sentiment, I believe, for the Kanye coin that is supposed to be dropping sometime. Nobody really knows when, but people are anticipating that it's supposed to be soon. Okay, so again, just wanted to bring this one up, that specifically to highlight that when you see a chart pattern like this, this is not healthy. This is a chart that's absolutely going to rug pull. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but it absolutely is going to. Because any chart that's ever looked like this, that's typically what they do. All right. So one of the things I've mentioned, since starting the series is you see enough of these charts, you kind of know what healthy looks like and what unhealthy looks like. You kind of have an idea, and it doesn't mean that because the chart's healthy that you know how you're going to make money. But again, we're trying to stay away from scams, right? So, and at the end of the day, this is absolutely one that it's going to rug pull at some point. So wanted to bring that one up before we went into discovery. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go to our gear here, and immediately the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust, what our layout here looks like in terms of, just all these columns. We don't need them all. At least I don't need them all. So if you're somebody, that's brand new, this will be new to you. If you're somebody that's not, obviously this is not new to you, but we're going to get rid of price, transactions, volume, makers, keep all the time frames, and then we're going to get rid of liquidity and keep market cap. I'm going to click apply. That kind of streamlines, everything down. So we got columns, in my personal opinion, that are actually useful. Okay, so as far as the filters are concerned, we're going to look at Solana. We're going to look at, let's just look at all four since we haven't been together, in a couple of days. Nothing to do here on the Dex side because we got multiple chains selected, and we're going to leave these alone. Last time I know that we went ahead and we checked off, boosted and ads. I don't ever look for the ones that have a profile, but again, it's just stating that they actually put in information in regards to the token, just additional details. But I find that it's neither here nor there as far as the success or likelihood of success in regards to a particular token. So not going to do anything with that. However, liquidity, we do need to put in a minimum value of 1,000. I would definitely recommend that anytime you're messing around with the filters, just because before they added these, these new filters, here in the customization window, they automatically would just, put in that 1,000. I think it's a good idea to make sure that you've got at least 1,000 in liquidity, because there are tokens that do launch without at least $1,000 in liquidity. So I think it's just good, in terms of our filtering process, to make sure that you are stating that, in that value. box. So as far as market cap is concerned, we're going to stick with our minimum value of 50,000, and we're going to go to 200K. And then with the pair age, we're going to go 1 hour, to, I think we'll go to 120 hours. So basically we're looking at a week out. And at 24-hour change, we'll go with our standard value of 10%, and let's see what we find. So looks like we probably got at least 50 tokens here, so yeah, we got a ton. All right, 100 tokens, that's just way too much for my liking. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to knock this number down to 100,000. All right, I think part of the issue is, we're the age, we're accounting for about a week's worth of tokens, so. All right, so everything new to about, 5 days out. So, all right, this is more manageable in terms of my personal opinion. So that's what we'll do. And we're just going to go ahead and start opening some stuff up, after we sort two ways. I know initially for the first batch of videos, we were just doing the 24-hour, but, kind of moved into incorporating that 5-minute now. But you can see here on the 24-hour, we're getting everything from 20,000%, in terms of that column. Increase, all the way down to 10%, which reflects our 10% value in that 24-hour box, here in the filters right here. All right, and then we're going to go to a 5-minute, because 5 minutes is going to go ahead and sort us by, the tokens that are getting the most recent amount of activity. So even if we got that 24-hour sorted here, you can see here on the 5-minute, they're down 15%. Well, I want to see, people that are actually buying within the last 5 minutes. So we're going to look at USA Guy. This is fascinating. I actually saw this one yesterday on Pump Fun, and it retraced down to about 30K, and I didn't think it was going to go ahead and make it to bonding, because typically when you start to see a lot of retracement, on a Pump Fun chart, a lot of times they'll go ahead and they will, people just go ahead and exit. But I'm surprised to see that this one actually did bond, so that's good to see. All right, but I don't know if they got a telegram, so we're still going to take a look at that one just to see. Dog with Babe. Or with Globe, Rayo, this one actually did pretty well some days ago. Or actually, no, they're saying this is 22 hours. So this must be a new one, because the first one I saw, this was not, it wasn't brand new. So, okay, let's see here. What we're going to do, this is a BNB token. Let's open this one up. And we'll open this one up. Balloon AI, we'll open this one up. Iceman, I don't know what that is. Let's see here. Trillium Bear, sure. Let's see what else we got. Trump Tower, just a broke guy, sure. Okay, we'll open this one up and we'll see what we got. So, American Chill Guy, chart's looking pretty good. So once it migrated from Pump Fun, you can see kind of went up and it came back down, but it did not dump like I thought it might, coming out of Pump Fun. So that's actually pretty good, for this one, especially sitting at this market cap. It's not bad, and it's only literally like a 2x, from where I saw it, on Pump Fun yesterday. So, like I said, encouraged to see that. But they do have a Telegram, so we'll check that out. At least they got the button. Don't know if they got a community yet. All right, so here on the 1 hour for this one, not looking that great. This one definitely not digging this chart, so we're going to leave this one alone. Balloon. This one, I don't know. This kind of feels like this might be like a TikTok, Actually, yeah, it looks like, yep, TikTok it is. So yeah, maybe there's some activity. I don't know what they're, how many views they're getting on TikTok or posts, but this could be maybe like a viral, meta, maybe, I don't know. But we will keep that open and check that one out. Iceman, let's see what we got here. We're gonna go to the 1 hour. Not a bad chart. We got a Telegram as well. We'll keep it. And then for this one, no Telegram. We're gonna leave it alone. This one, Trump Tower. Let's go to the 5 minutes. Not terrible. We'll keep it. Broke guy. Let's see what we got going on. Go to the 1 hour. Not crazy about that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it alone. Okay, so, and let's go ahead and let's go back to the filters and let's see what else we got here. We're gonna go up in market cap. So 101. We're gonna go to 2. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we're still sorted by the 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and let's take a look at that one. That one, endless drip. I don't know what that could be. Onionchat.fun. Don't know what that is either. Okay, this one I know is basically like the taxes that they collect, go back, to the holders. And if you hadn't heard, there was a token, I think it was called, the ticker was like ATM, and so basically it was kind of like IMG, except their rewards, were in USDC. So And I did mention, when we saw the success of IMG, that we were going to start to see more of these reward tokens start to pop up, on the chain. And that's exactly what's happened, so, but keep in mind what I said before in regards to these particular rewards tokens. If they don't have volume, then there's no point to holding the token. Okay, so yes, it sounds great, when you see a token layout on their website where they say, well, if you hold so much of the supply, if you hold so many tokens, this is how much you're going to receive in maybe USDC, or how much you're going to receive, in Sol. But I saw one like, earlier this morning, where they were talking about if you held so much of the supply, you were going to be able to make like 10 Sol a day. But here's the thing, they were sitting at under a $400,000 market cap, but there was no volume coming into that chart. So what was happening? People were starting to go ahead and sell it off. And here's the reality. If you don't have people constantly buying and selling the token, you can't, the rewards won't trigger. The thing that made IMG so great is the fact that when we saw that token, I think under 200K, and it went to like almost it went over 20 million in the same day, in 24 hours. That's a ton of volume. So you had people that were making crazy money just off of the rewards, because any of these reward tokens, they're volume driven, guys. So we're seeing all these different rewards token pop up, but again, you're not going to have the same kind of volume as the OG token. And, this is what happens typically in crypto, right? So you see one token do well, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming out with it. Just like Chill Guy. After Chill Guy, we started seeing all these basically copycats. No other token since the original Chill Guy has done anywhere near what Chill Guy did. It's going to be the same thing for these rewards tokens. You may have maybe one more, maybe even two if you're lucky, get anywhere close to what IMG did. But all these other ones are going to go ahead and fall flat on their face. So just be mindful of that it's a good lure, for somebody to go ahead and tell you that, you're going to make so much money in rewards. They tried this on the BSC chain for a long time. But again, yes, you can make a little bit of money, but you're never going to make, massive amounts of money like you think, like they're trying to pitch to you through their websites, or through their banners talking about how much money you're going to make, rewards. It'll be a little bit, but it's not going to be a lot. Okay. Unless you're holding a ton of supply, which in that case, that means you got in super early and you don't really need a lot of volume to go ahead and make a bunch of rewards. But that's not going to be the case for most of you, or most of us. So, all right, I know that was a long kind of, rant in regards to these tokens, but I just want you to be careful in understanding. It looks good to decide to jump into these things, but understand the more of these silly rewards tokens that pop up, they're just not going to see a ton of volume. That's just a fact. All right, so, and that's, this is also another reason why it's important to go ahead and watch more of these videos, at least more of the content, because I'm going to go ahead and share that kind of stuff with you where it may be helpful, so that you don't find yourself jumping into, the new meta and end up, it not being what you thought it was going to be because you basically missed the train on the first one. And that's basically what's happening here, with a lot of these rewards tokens. They're still going to get buyers, but again, very few tokens are going to go ahead and have the same success that IMG did. And even now, it had another little bit of a run, but I think it's still hovering around maybe 10 million. So, and I think what the all-time high for that one, I think maybe it was around 50 million, maybe, but it hasn't come close since then. So, all right, let's go ahead and let me see here. We wanted to take a look at some of these other ones that I brought up. Okay, Trump Tower, I'm already telling you right now, now that I come back to it, we're going to leave this one alone. That's too much retracement for my liking. Okay, so Kono here, we do have a Telegram. We're going to keep it open. Looks okay. And then Bounty. Let's see here. This one, not really crazy about the chart. I'd like to see more on the chart. This one's still kind of short too, but there's more than this one. So Bounty, I'll tell you what, let's keep it for now. And we may even check out the Telegram. If everything's still working out, we may go ahead and set an alert for this one. Endless Drip, let's see what the 5-minute looks like. Chart looks okay, I guess, but they don't have a Telegram, so we're going to leave this one alone. And then for this one, no Telegram, so we're leaving that one alone. So let's go back here. We're going to go back to our filters. We're going to increase our market cap to a 1, and I think we're going to go out to 5. Okay, let's see what we get. So Mochi here, 3 of them. I don't deal with the dupes. Okay, so Skype, I'm going to open that one up. Let's see here, ATM. This, let's see. This is not the same one that I was talking about earlier. At least I don't believe it was. Actually, it could be. It could be because it's 2 days old. Let me see. And if that is, then that one retraced, pretty significantly. All right, total wealth accumulation. This is another one of those, reward tokens. I can tell already. Let me see here. Pilot. Sure. Let's open this one up. All right, guys, give me 1 second. All right, guys. So at this point, what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and start looking at some of these channels and go from there. Okay. So here we are. And let's see, we can check this off. So it's good to see that they actually do have a community here for the American Chill guy. All right, so we can see right away there's evidence of a raid, 5 bookmarks. They're looking for 5 retweets, 5 comments, and I think 9 likes. Looks like they were able to complete that one, so they're obviously still getting active buys here because 2:18 is the time that I got on my clock, as well. So love the fact that they're doing the raids, they're getting some active buys. Let's see if they got any kind of trending going on. I don't really see anything yet. So scrolling. I still don't see anything as far as any trending is concerned. Let's take a look at the pinned messages. So let's see here. So yeah, nothing really going on here in the pinned messages. So we'll head back on out. All right, so we're going to close this out. And again, the chart looks okay, so still close to a top of a candle here, so I'd really be interested in further retracement on this one as far as an alert's concerned. So I'm going to go to market cap under, and we're going to go ahead and say 45, on this one. Okay, and we'll see if it triggers. I'm going to go ahead and put the found market cap. Let's see here. What does this say? Can we see it? At 55, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's edit this in 55K. Okay, so we'll see if that triggers. We're going to close that one out. And then for this one, I'm going to leave this one alone. I don't really care for the chart. It's not really much movement going on either. For Balloon AI, let's go into the channel. Let's see. This one looks like, it's a CTO. We can see that here in the link. All right, and so here we are. Let's see here. And they're looking for, activity on raids, so they're looking for 7 bookmarks, 10 replies, 17 retweets, and 23 likes. Looks like they're almost done, according to the progress indicator here in regards to completion of the raid. Looking for, okay, so the app buys are still active, which is good to see. Okay, and so let's see here. Scrolling, going up. All right, let's see here. So they got looking for votes, for trending. Okay. So obviously this is, this is coming out of TikTok. So let me go back there because I wanted to see exactly, what was on there. Okay, so we can see here. So this is a CapCut account. Obviously we've got a bunch of activity, here on the CapCut, but I was looking for their actual, like Balloon AI, TikTok, account, but I don't see that. So, but either way, let's head back on out here. And chart looks pretty good. This looks like we can go ahead and set a couple of alerts on this one. So it says 67 there. This says 67. So we'll go ahead and we'll set the 2 alerts here on the. I'm going to copy the found market cap on the over. Let's go to let's go to 80K. Okay, so not too much of a deviation from the found market cap. And then on the under, we're going to go to, I'd say 45K. All right, so there we are. So we're going to close that out. All right, so we'll see if any of that triggers. Iceman looks like it's in a bit of retracement, so we're going to check out, the Telegram, see what they got going on. All right, so no CTO here. At least it doesn't look like it yet. All right, so, that's interesting. Main raid. Okay, well, I don't know, their Telegram. It's like Discord oriented, but I mean, it's a little odd. Okay, so we got Iceman here. I didn't see anything in regards to trending right away. There's still, looks like they've got a raid going on here, looking for 3 replies, 3 retweets, 12 likes. Nobody has interacted with this raid, so I don't really see that as a positive. Okay, and I don't see anything going on as far as any trending is concerned yet. Okay, so, all right, so no trending, it doesn't look like, but Dex, looks like, okay, they wanted a 100x boost, they paid for that, a volume bot, okay. So they're doing some things, here in regards to, some marketing, and trying to grow the actual, exposure, of the token. We can see that boost, is active, okay, but no ads. Okay, so for this one, I'd say we're probably looking more for an under alert than an over on this one. So let's see, we're at 85. I think this says 85 too. So I think personally I'd want to see this hit maybe 60K before I'd be interested in this one. So on the under, so we're going to put here 85 as far as I found. And then on the under, I'll tell you what, I'll do something a bit more reasonable. We'll do 65K. All right, so we'll see if that triggers. And then, here on Kono, we're going to take a look at their channel. All right, so let's see what we got here. We get a verification portal, but still waiting for that box to show up. So there we are. Not sure what the delay was all about. Okay, so let me go back out here, and then all right, here we go. They're trending, so let's make sure they're active on the leaderboard. 13, there we are. Okay, so they are active on the leaderboard. Last buy is coming in. I mean, very, just right now. So I don't see anything in regards to rating yet. Okay, but sometimes it can be up here a little bit. So scrolling, and yeah, nothing going on in terms of raids. Okay, so Dex is paid, Boost is paid, Volume Bot paid. Now they're 21 on Dexscreener. So, all right, so it looks like they've got a Volume Bot going on as well. Okay, but I'm not really seeing the Volume Bot activity. So maybe they could just turn that on and off when they want. I don't know. But we are seeing some active buys, coming to the chart, which is good. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to set 2 alerts on this one. Okay, so we do see, the boost, here. So we're sitting at 105, or actually 109 according to the tab. So here we are, market cap 109K. We're going to copy that. And on the over, let's go to 120K. And then let's see, on the under, let's go ahead and let's set this for 85K. All right, so that sounds about right. So we'll see any of those trigger bounties. Still looks like they're getting some buying activity here. So let's go into the channel. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's see here. We got just over 300 members, here in the chat. Got a VC going, 14 members. That's good in terms of optics. Okay, as far as the raid's concerned, we're looking for 10 bookmarks, 5 replies, 15 retweets, and 20 likes. So they're getting some good activity according to their progress indicator here as well. And let's see here. Not seeing anything in regards to trending yet. Don't know if maybe I missed it, but yeah, not seeing any trending. But again, they got the VC going, they got the raid going, so those are good things. Okay, and then as far as their pin messages, so they're getting some channels, showing it to their communities. Okay, and so I guess this is one where you do actually get rewards, so that's good to see. So again, these reward tokens, they're getting a lot of activity and attention, and as they should, because everybody likes free money. So okay, so with that being said, but keep in mind, obviously you need volume, so this one seems pretty early, but there's not a lot of volume, right? So your buy volume, the last 24 hours is only 50K, just over 50K. You want to see this in the hundreds of thousands. And if it doesn't continue to get volume, what's going to happen? People are going to go ahead and start to sell it off. So again, the more of these reward tokens you see, you're just not going to see a lot of volume. Volume is really kind of driven by that excitement, and people are like want to just jump over chairs to go ahead and be able to get into some of these tokens. But when it's one thing when it was the first, but when they're just starting to pop up out of the woodworks, the excitement, the allure, it just starts to lose its shine, right? And that's what you're seeing, so yes, you'll still see some rewards, you'll still see some activity, but again, the kind of activity that Infinite Money Glitch saw, you're not going to see that. The more these tokens go ahead and show up, you're just not going to see the excitement be there, like it was when the first reward token showed up on the scene on this chain. Okay, where everybody and their mother was just trying to go ahead and get into it. So yeah, with this one, under alert, on this one, because I don't for here you're still sitting, close to the peak, so. We'll go ahead and we'll set this one. We're sitting in 196, here, on the tab. So, all right, 196 is going to be the found, and we're going to say under, and I'm going to put this at 150 because I think heavy retracement's coming to this one just because you're not going to have a ton of buy pressure. You're just not. So they've got ads, they've got ads going, they've got a boost going, they've got a VC going, and they've got a raid. Okay, and you're still struggling to break 100K in buy volume in the last 24 hours. Like, got to see the writing on the wall, guys. Some of these, and we'll see this the more rewards tokens that we look at. Okay, unless there's a rewards token that comes up with a new catalyst, something new that will bring people into it. But like I said, all these rewards tokens are just driven by volume, and you got to have something that's got to be new beyond what people already know. So okay, so this one is Skype. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the channel and see what we got going on. All right, so we get our verification link. So we've got this is the actual chat. So as far as activity in regards to the raid, so they're not getting a lot of participation yet. Looking for 6 bookmarks, 7 replies, 8 retweets, and 10 likes, so they've got over 650 members, here in the chat, but you're struggling to complete, this raid, so that doesn't necessarily, speak well, to community engagement, right? So with that being said, we got some spam here. We want to see active moderation, so good. Okay. We're not seeing this one, be removed yet, so that kind of concerns me too. Last buy just came in, so we do have active buys, taking place, which is helpful to see. All right, but I don't see anything in the way of trending, so all right, we're gonna go to the pin messages. Not a lot going on here in pin messages either. Okay, so and this is a different raid, but again, no trending. So we're gonna go back out. And let's see here. We do see they're on Dexscreener hot pairs, is number 10. But no ads and no boost. Okay, so this one, I would imagine, because you don't have a lot really pushing this token forward, probably going to see more retracement. Now, this is one I saw earlier today, so I'm not surprised that it's continued to retrace. So, and I think it's going to continue to retrace. I don't see this one, I don't see any catalyst, to go ahead and move this one up. Plus, you also see, here's a run, and I mentioned before, can't keep asking the chart to keep running, because a lot of times if you don't have a catalyst to go ahead and money to really dump into the chart, into the token, then they're eventually just going to go ahead and run out of gas. I think this one is probably already run out of gas. I mean, they migrated from pump fund, so obviously from basically a $5,000 market cap, all the way to nowadays, it seems like to reach the bottom curve is around 60,000. Okay. And then they retraced, here to, roughly in the 40s. Okay. But then they touched, at their high, you're talking, looks like over 400K, so yeah, I mean, it's already had several runs on this chart. I just don't think that it's going to continue to go ahead and do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. And then here for ATM, we're going to take a look at the 1 hour here. So it looks like they're trying to go ahead and come out of the bottom, levels, so I think it'd be worth a look here. Now, they're obviously, this is a token where they're paying out some sort of rewards, but they don't state it here in the banner what that is. So we got to likely go and see what they're talking about, here in the in their channel. Maybe they'll tell us, whether it's USDC or whether it's sold. So okay, so yeah, USDC rewards every 7 minutes, just hold it and earn. So again, not seeing a ton of volume. I don't think this one's going to go ahead and burst out, from the bottom levels. You'll probably see it continue to go up for a little bit, but likely it'll come back down is what I'm thinking, just because again, the whole point I've been making throughout this video today is we're going to see more of these rewards tokens, and they're just not going to get a ton of volume. So, but in spite of that, they're trying to get some activity, from the community, so they're looking for 5 bookmarks, 10 retweets, 10 comments, 20 likes. So, and good, good activity, from the community. And look, even when I'm saying that, they're not really seeing a lot of volume, I think ultimately, you're going to have some outliers, but it's going to take more work, to even get to, a million, stay in the $1 million market cap, area for a lot of these tokens, just because I think people would much rather go to where people are really familiar. And what people are really familiar with is IMG. And I think that's the reason why IMG is still holding above a $10 million market cap, because that's the one that's shown that can be trusted. They're paying people out. They've been paying people out. And so It hasn't completely dumped yet, which could actually indicate that they could actually continue to grow in the market cap. So a lot of these other tokens, they're competing with the OG, which is obviously IMG. And for IMG to still be holding over $10 million market cap since their original launch, which was days ago, that actually said, and in spite of this market, where it's been really bearish, for the last few days, that is something significant. So that's also the competition that they're running up against. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look here. So I already said, they got the raid going on. I haven't seen anything in regards to like trending yet. So you got somebody here, talking about the rewards, or the reward wallet. Okay, so that's fine. Let me see here. Okay, rain and cash. Okay, so, all right, I don't see anything in regards to trending. So let's see here if you, okay. Let me see if you haven't received any rewards in the last few hours. It works fine for 99%. Could be stuck. Dev is working on fixing that. Don't panic. Not a single penny is going to get lost. So, all right. Okay. So, and obviously anybody talking about not being able to receive rewards, that could panic some folks, and that could lead to some people selling off. So, again, why you want to stick with the OG, which is IMG, right? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's set a couple of alerts on this one, okay? Just out of sheer curiosity. Okay, so we're sitting at 229K on the market cap. So that's going to be our found. I'm going to go ahead and go out to 245, on the over, and then on the under, let's go to 200. Okay, there we are. We'll see if those trigger. And then for this one, not looking great. Okay, so heavy retracement. But maybe it could head back up. This is total wealth accumulation. This is another rewards token, it sounds like. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. All right, so over 1,000 members, here in this chat. So they're looking for 5 bookmarks, 5 replies, 5 retweets, and 11 likes. So, they're looking for some activity in regards to this raid. For the amount of people they've got in this channel and they can't complete this raid, that is bananas. Okay, so what we're going to do, and we're not seeing, a bunch of new messages coming in, so that's not necessarily a good thing. We want to see activity. We're not really getting a bunch of activity. The last buy came in at 230, which was 5 minutes ago. Okay, so again, all these reward tokens, they're driven by volume. You're not really getting a bunch of volume. So let's see here. Yeah, you start to see these kind of messages, especially if you're new. That's always a scam. So never pay attention, to those types of messages. But good active moderation. So we're seeing that that's been removed. All right, so we're looking for anything trending wise. So we don't see anything in regards to trending. So okay, so we got the raid, no trending. Let's take a look here, and let's see here. Okay, not interested in that. Okay, so we're seeing some reward snaps, as well. All right, so we're gonna head back on out. Okay, so as far as this one's concerned, I mean, they're getting some retracement, and obviously the retracement is coming because there isn't a lot of buy activity. Okay, so you want to see those buys continue to come in. If they stop flowing in, that affects rewards, guys. The more buys come in, the more rewards you get. If you don't get buys, guess what? You don't really get the rewards. So you need more transactions taking place, on this one. And then when you get buys that are coming in, they're like this. That's not good either. You want to see buys, that are at least $50, more. So yeah, for this one, I think we're just going to set an under, and I think it's going to continue to retrace, So we're sitting at 352 on the market cap. So we're going to go to market cap and go under 3. We're seeing 352. I think this one might actually go to the 260 area. So let's go set that, and we'll see if it triggers. Okay, and then for this one, for pilot, not really crazy about this one. So I think we're going to leave this one alone, because this one, yeah, I think we are going to leave this one alone. You're looking at the retracement, the pattern here tells me right away, that, and especially when you're looking at not a lot of activity here on the 5 minute, heavy retracement, heavy minus, activity on the 1 hour, and this was going to continue to retrace, so I think at this point we're going to call it a day, as far as today's video is concerned. Thanks guys so much, for joining us here, on the channel, for another video in the Dexscreener series. Appreciate that as always. And with that being said, keep in mind, guys, don't don't decide to go ahead and hop on the train just because it's a new meta, okay? The OGs are always going to do the best. The derivatives, will make some noise, but they're not going to ever, in most cases, they're not going to ever do, what the OG has done, so keep that in mind. Look for stuff that's got narratives around it, if you're going to go ahead and try to jump into stuff, especially when the market's a bit bearish, so. And sometimes it's best not to go ahead and even mess with this stuff. Sometimes you just need to go ahead and take a step away from it for a day or two, okay, while things calm down. So with that being said, if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you know somebody that can get some value, out of the things being shared here, not only on the channel, but in the series, definitely share the channel with somebody else. The more people that are engaging with the channel and with the series, is how we get this information, across to more people, on the YouTube platform. So with that being said, you guys enjoy the day, and I'll see you around on the next video.